Good morning, Earth children. Mr. Bruce here with another book. Today's book is a short but funny one called David Gets in Trouble. It's about a little boy who's always getting in trouble, and he always has an excuse for it, and we'll see why. First, let's get our eyes watching, our ears listening, our voices quiet, and our body calm. Well, there's David, and he's standing in front of his mother, and she's tapping her foot, and I can't see her face, but you know what? I don't think she's happy. When David gets in trouble, he always says, "No, it's not my fault." But look, if you look around, he's taken the crayons and he's written on the wall, which we never do. But look, he's got a little halo on. "Oh, I didn't do anything. It's not my fault." When he goes riding through the house on his skateboard and he goes upside down and knocks the table and the lamp over and all the things on the table, he says, "Oh, I didn't mean to do it." But you know what? He made a bad choice. He shouldn't have been skateboarding in the house. Now, when David throws up the baseball and hits it and it goes right through the neighbor's window, he says, "Oh, it was an accident." And maybe it was, he didn't mean to do it, but he was standing looking at the neighbor's house hitting the ball. Where do you think it was going to go? When his mother sits down and says, "Now, David, before you go out and play, you have to have your breakfast." And he says, "Do I have to?" And he puts a mug on his face. And look at that mug. Do you think he's happy? No. If he does that, he's going to make everybody in the house miserable with that face. When he's walking to school and his mother's chasing him, he says, "I forgot." What do you think he forgot? Take a look what his mother's carrying. That's right, his pants. Look how he's walking to school in his underwear. I forgot. When the teacher said, "Okay, do you have your homework from last night?" He said, "Oh no, teacher, I don't have mine, but I have a good excuse. My dog ate my homework." And if you look in the window, there's his dog, and he had taken the page and put it in his dog's mouth probably. He always has an excuse for everything, doesn't David? But look, all the other kids have their homework, and they're laughing at him. When they went to take the class picture, all the people had beautiful smiles on their faces, except for one boy making a crazy face. And who was that? David. Right. "I'm sorry. I couldn't help it." He ruined the picture for everybody else. When his mother says, "David, what are you doing?" He says, "I was hungry." But look what he's eating. The dog biscuits. And the dog is saying, "What are you doing eating my biscuits?" Boys can't eat dog biscuits. When the mother hears, "Meow!" and she runs in and sees this, and he's pulling the kitty's tail, and he says, "But no, Kitty likes it." Well, let me ask you this, kids. Does Kitty look like he likes it? I don't think so. Well, when David's trying to move things from the table to his room, he has his dinosaur and a bunch of donuts, and he has potato chips, and he has licorice, and he has a glass of cranberry juice. And what happens? Of course, he drops it and it spills all over the floor. He said, "It's not my fault. It slipped." But if he made a good choice, he'd have taken one thing over at a time and wouldn't have any spillage. When his mother says, "You sit in that bathtub and think about this, those bad words you said," he said, "But somebody else said it." Well, just because someone else says a bad word doesn't mean that you have to say a bad word. When he's at the table and has to burp, he says this, "Burp," a big giant burp, and then he says, "Oh, excuse me." But if he had made a good choice, before he burped, he'd have covered his mouth with his hand and made a small burp and then said, "Excuse me." When mom looks at the birthday cake before they put the candles in and it's got a big piece missing, he says, "No, it wasn't me." But if you'll notice, he has chocolate cake all over his face, and there's a handprint right in that cake that looks like his hand. Well, That night, David goes to sleep, and he's thinking about all the things he did, and he fell asleep, and all of a sudden he woke up, and he was scared, and he said, "Yes, yes, it was me. I was wrong. I'm sorry." He felt guilty for all the times he made mistakes and said it wasn't him, and his conscience got to him. And he went in and said, Mommy, Daddy, I am so, so sorry. And he meant it. I'll try to do better. And she put him back to bed and petted him and said, "That's all right. Try harder tomorrow." And he said, "I love you, Mommy." The end. Well, David had an excuse for everything he did wrong. If she said, "Don't make noise in the house when Grandma's sleeping," he did. If she said, "Don't pull a cat's tail," he did. If she said, "Don't you climb in the oven," he did. Have you ever thought of something that your mom said, "I don't want you to do that," but you went ahead and did it anyway? So give that some thought. Think of one. Let your mom know you were sorry for it. I'll see you tomorrow. Be good and wash your hands. Bye-bye.